All right, we're gonna have to figure out a way to edit this. So I'm nervous that I'm going to do something where I am not recording, although it says that I'm recording, and then I'm gonna waste some time. But good morning, it's February 16th, and we're halfway through the Kickstarter. This is my author blog. I'm gonna go over my YouTube journey. It's been about 45 days. One of the things I do as a leader is I don't try to change anything when I come into a new position for the first 90 days. This is brand new to me. So my original plan was I'm just gonna post a video a day. I've been doing that, mostly shorts, and then I was trying to, once I got a handle on it, to post a vlog every day and try to up my game. So to up my game, I moved on from my old phone, right? This is my little Pixel that I dictated my notes on, to a new phone. I got a light over here. I got the natural light coming in from outside. It is overcast. That happens. So I'm going to talk about my YouTube story, which is I'm just posting, and I'm trying to post content. So let's talk about strategy and tactics. So my strategy is there's two audiences. The audiences are authors, right? And so if you're watching this early, you're probably an author, or you're a reader. In some cases, you might be a listener if my audiobooks are out. But so I'm trying to talk to all these people at the same time. Sometimes I'm trying to talk to one. Right, today I'm going to talk to the authors about my YouTube journey, and the readers. You're here for the journey. So buckle in. Yeah. So I always talk about the basics, right? So 2002, when I started writing, I formed 2 writing groups. And forming a writing group is like forming a Dungeons and Dragons group, right? So you want to join a group and you want to critique each other so you get better, right? So as the group gets better, then they get more advanced and the critiques get better. And then you start being able to be more confident, right? I feel like it's kind of the basics. Just like for me right now, the basics are tracking or monitoring my word count. It's a long weekend, so I didn't write much yesterday, but I've been doing a lot of editing and marketing. And that was one of the things that I have not been doing. So I have learned I need to start editing more and marketing more. Even if I can get 3,000 words in a day, it doesn't mean much if I'd still have to edit it. So I actually went back and edited a full chapter of Bodega Cat. It's fully edited. It's been through beta readers, alpha readers. And now I read through it. I dictated it using my handy microphone to try it out in Audacity, because I'm testing out what narration feels like just to get a feel for it. And it's pretty good. The people I sent it to said they like it, but also, like, I don't know. Let me fix that right there. Boop. That's going to be a bit off center. So let me bring it back. So there are new authors coming into the game now, and I don't want to discourage people, right? So I might give some scathing critique. I gave someone a critique the other week. So there's a thing that happens when when authors write about LGBT characters, is that somebody will come in and they will review the work and they will just comment on the character being gay or lesbian, right? And they will not have anything else because they're haters, right? So I'm a hater, but I'm a different type of hater, right? So I don't care that your character is a gay or lesbian. Like, I love it. I have several gay, lesbian. I'm about to write 2 lesbians in this book. What I care about is that the prose is good, right? And particularly, I don't really care about coming out stories so much, or like in the closet stories. Like, it's fine. I liked Gay the Pray Away. It was lovely. I would rather them just be fully realized human beings and not in the closet, but I understand that's part of the story, right? So I don't prefer that. So when I give someone a critique, I'm looking at, I need to drink this. When I give someone a critique, I'm looking at how the work presents, right? So like, your story can be really gay and I can love it, or it could be really gay and it could be a prose issue. But what I want to see is characters taking action, right? So I want to see like character choices. In particular, I want to see strong choices where if they make one choice, so they are presented with two options, right? So if they choose one option, then that completely negates the option to do the opposite path, right? Like, this is why I choose, right? So there's a love triangle, and he has to choose between one dude he wants to date or the other dude he wants to date. And either option precludes the other one because we can't be polyamorous, right? In this instance, right? So if the tension of the series is that they are not choosing, right? Okay, that's fine. But they also have to have other choices, right? So the fiction in question was basically 3 chapters of information dumping. And so my advice to the author is cut the information dumping, refuse to explain anything, refuse the urge to explain, right? Because if you are telling them, you're just feeding them on a plate, right? Readers are smart. They want to solve a puzzle. Like my wife, she loves to solve puzzles in books. There was one book where the character had like a tattoo of a knife on the back. It's a Sarah J. Maas book. And she's like, oh, that's going to come in later. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Because readers want to read a mystery, or they want to solve a mystery that is your book, right? And so if there's no mystery, if like everything's like laid out bare, okay, I get it. But what I want you to do is advance in your craft, right? So so like way back, it's probably 2002, somebody gave me their fiction, and it was the main character is waking up, and then she's like taking her time, stretching and going downstairs for breakfast. Her mom's calling her saying her breakfast is gonna get cold. And then she like skips breakfast, right? And I'm like, this doesn't show any character development. You're telling me that her mother is a single mom and that her father is dead, right? And that she's going to an archery competition. Like that was the setup, right? So I'm like, okay, well, what about if we show the character doing something she's really good at, right? So rather than her waking up seeing, because like I would just say nuke that unless it's like done extremely well. I've only seen it done well once. Nuke that, and that was in the practical guide to the Maiden's Guide, whatever. I told the author, like, have her start out doing some archery stuff, right? So like she's in the backyard and she's doing some archery practice and she's got targets, and then like you could explain how she does archery. This shows her character, right? Shows her doing something good that she's good at. It's entertaining, right? So you're entertaining because you're like, okay, this person's actually good at this thing. Then you're gonna put her in the upside down world and she's gonna do something else. Where was I going with this? I should check if this is filming. Yeah, if it's not filming, oh well. She's in the upside down world later, but for now she's in the real world and she's shooting arrows, and her target practice area was next to where they've interred the ashes of her father, right? So it's meaningful because she goes there and don't cry, and she goes there and she does target practice, and she talks to her dad about how she's feeling, and then no one else hears this conversation, right? So that you can see like, this is what the character is and who she does, right? Before she gets taken out of that. And I don't know where was going that. Okay, so that's part of it, right? So I want to see the characters do something, and I want to see the characters do something that they're particularly good at. And I don't want to see just 3 pages of info dump that is basically the summary of its previous series. Yeah, that's my first topic. Okay, so my second topic is getting feedback, right? So the nuts and bolts of getting feedback. So you can post a chapter on Royal Road, royalroad.com. Great site. I've been on there a lot. And you can enable suggestions. So like somebody will read your stuff and then they'll suggest a change, right? I do this in my series. I'm getting better at having a fully fleshed out prose. Like when Bagel Cats gets onto Royal Road in a couple months, it's going to be good. It's going to be like, all right, this has been through like several rounds of editing, and then Royal Road will be the beta readers, and then it'll be popping. If this is your first time, what you need to do is get into a critique group, get some beta readers, or get some alpha readers, because alpha readers are other writers that are around your level, right? And then the easiest way to do this is to have a shared Google Doc, right? So you create a Google Doc of your chapters, you write it out there. I can go to I'm gonna step back. So what I do is I put my stuff into Obsidian. I'll dictate it into my phone. I will put sync thing on. Sync thing synchronizes this, my other phones, my other computers. So everything is on the same. And it's only like, I've written 5 books on there, 6 books. I've written 8 books on my phone through Obsidian. When the full chapter is there, I will take this chapter over to Google Docs, right? And then what I want to do is I want to enable comments. So someone can come in and they can edit it, and they can say, they can just delete your stuff, and then it will just come in as a note, and it will say, accept this change, and all you have to do is accept it. So it's a lot faster than someone making a comment and you have to go back and then change it. Saves you some time, saves us some time. So, and then what I can also do is it'll make you green text. So if you're the commenter, it'll make green text and it'll say, this is something that the commenter wants to add. So if someone is struggling with how to express something, then I can write out how I would write it, right? So I could be like, okay, here is a rewritten version of your sentence. So I could either select the sentence or I could just rewrite the sentence underneath it. Usually when I do that, I'll put it in paragraph, parentheses. This way they know, like, hey, this is my suggestion. Not everyone writes like me. I have a particular clear sense of prose. Like I'll hide things, but you have to like be reading into text. Like if there's a scene where no one's names are revealed, then you'll know that it's probably a secondary character that's doing something shady. Although those were really short for sect leader. So you get feedback on that, right? And if you are, and I'm not just saying, so like you're not just there to receive feedback, you're also there to learn. So if you are a writer, you should be reading other stuff, right? You should be reading others' works so you can see what that's like. And someone just posted a great guide on narration, punctuation on r/Royal Road, which I'm going to probably link in the comments, that you could just refer to. So things that work in text sometimes do not work in audio, right? And then you can also do things in text or in audio that will not work in other forms of media. So like you can do like a narrative summary. So like rather than explaining, so like if the character goes through something and it's like, the character could explain it in like 5 minutes. You don't want to give that screen time in a anime or something. You can just say like, and then so-and-so explains something to them. Why am I jumping to narrative summary? Because if you want to hide something in the narrative summary, you can do that. Your readers are detectives. They're trying to find facts. They're trying to figure out what's going on. Refuse the urge to explain. You have to get them to put things together. Like I want you to get to the end of the story and just be like, whoa, that was real. Like they reveal at the end of Yumi that, spoiler, Yumi was like a spirit the whole time. That was a big reveal. Like it was heavily foreshadowed, but it's also like, what? Excuse me. This is just water, by the way. It's almost time to wake up. So that's the deal. So if you want to get feedback, offer to give feedback. You will get better when you give feedback. The nuts and bolts could be different. Like if you really trusted somebody, you guys could sync things together. Like, but Google Docs is just the simplest, especially if you're working with somebody in Scotland with an insane beard. It's a beautiful man beard. Yes. So let me go back to strategy tactics to wrap this up. So the tactic is to post every day, and I'm trying to post things that people in my niche would enjoy. I'm also trying to post things that writers would enjoy. The hero support stuff is fun, and it's supposed to be for the readers, for the authors, but primarily for the readers, to get a sense of my sense of humor. I just did one about Golf Story. Go take a look at that. Hope I didn't offend anybody with that, which is probably going to get more views. And then what I'm going to do is, I've written a book. So this is the thing. Like, if I don't find the thing I want, I create it, right? So I've written a book about how to write progression fantasy, still in beta, because I don't want to push something out until I'm like more of a success and not here just to explain things. So the first one's up. It was about if everything's available to society, then society will take advantage of it. So I'm going to go through that series, and you can see that. And maybe at the end, people will be like, release the book, and I'll just be like, fine, I'll release the book. I'd rather not until after Bodega Cat's out, but we'll see. Because that's going to be, if I put that out, it'll be wide. And I'll probably narrate it myself. We'll see, because I gotta get some feedback. So that's my thing, is I gotta get some feedback on my narrate a full chapter. I will probably drop it in the YouTube once I figure out how to make a voice only with just a picture of a Bodega Cat. If you see that here, take a listen. That's what my prose sounds like. Although you can find more on my website. You can buy my book on Amazon. The Badger Company. Although that was released in 2002. I've leveled up since then. I don't know. I think I'm gonna do a short next. So I'm gonna leave it there. YouTube has been interesting. I didn't expect to get 5,000 views. Thank you. And back at it.